going to finish the job. Have to finish the job. Let's just finish the job.
To finish the job.
Oh, finish the job.
To finish the job.
Finish the job.
Finish the job.
Finish the job.
Just finish the job.
They'll have to finish the job.
That finishing the job.
You finish the job.
You finish the job.
To finish the job.
And for them, they believe that, their purpose is to bring about the end of the, end times and Armageddon or, whatever. So.
And we can't always share the details of this strategy with the public, including when the gates of hell will be opened, including when the gates of hell will be opened, including when the gates of hell will be opened, as they surely will.
I'd rather make a deal because I don't want to affect 91 million people. We can knock down their bridges in 1 hour. We can knock out their energy supply, all of those big plants that they built, big, beautiful, modern plants. They had a lot of money. They don't have any money now. We haven't given them any money. But we can knock out their electricity and power generating plants in, I would say, a small part of an afternoon. Every plant will be gone. And they know that.
Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumour shall be upon rumour. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients.
Hello, this is Kenneth from Rooftop Videos. Third day in a row I've done a video. I don't like having to do so many, but because things are moving, I feel led that I have to bring these subjects up. I'm going to have to do a documentary as a warning for the fall of America, Babylon, if there's time left. More than likely there will be, just in case. But you saw the video clips that I put up at the beginning. I did that for a reason. Do you notice, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has like this calling card, "I'll be back." Well, how many times you keep hearing, "Finish the job, finish the job, finish the job"? It never ends, does it? There's a reason for that. That's because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to finish the job. But where does that lead? That's why I want to do this emergency documentary, the prophetic warning, to show how it's all going to unfold. I go over much of it in my other documentaries, but we got to go much deeper now, because things are about to get scary. Now, as far as Trump, he's going to wipe out their infrastructure next week, I'm 95% sure it is absolutely not going to happen, because of the yo-yoing. But what I'm showing you today is going to lead into this documentary to show you what is going to happen. Now, if he does do it by some chance, I don't think so, but if he does, what I want to cover in this documentary will be taking place. And it is not a pretty picture. So I want to just make it to outline everything, get everything in its proper category and best time order I can, because not everything is crystal clear on that. But we do know what events has to take place. Now, I'll show you here. I'm not going to go over the whole chapter. Isaiah 13, verse 6. How you, for the day of the Elohim is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Verse 9. Behold, the day of the Elohim cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. And I won't go any further on that right now. There's our proof to start with. This is not Babylon of old. This is the end times, what we're staring at right now. Because of this verse, I'm going to show you in just a second. But first we establish it's not Babylon of old, because even in this chapter he says it will be desolate, no one will be on it. Well, where Babylon used to be, there's people all over it still. So that prophecy has not been fulfilled, and it's the end times. So we skip on down, verse 17. Well, first it starts off with the burden of Babylon. Right there's who he's talking about. Verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Once again, America to Babylon and Iran once more. He says, I'm going to stir up the Medes. And this is what I want people to see. Now, he's talking about the fall of America to Babylon. In Daniel, America is going to break the bow of Elam. Yahweh is using so-called Israel and the U.S. to break their bow. We're going to break them over there. But prophecy, as I want to show, they're going to break us over here. That's what he means by, I'll stir up the Medes against them. Because we wiped them out with all the rest of the stuff that they're doing here and elsewhere in Scripture. Doesn't make any sense over there, because America don't live over there. But they're affecting Americans, which means it's the ones that are over here. So this funeral of the Ayatollah, where they're screaming right and left, you've probably seen the videos, death to America, spill American blood on American soil. And a lot of people think, they're just rambling on, burning effigies and flags. And no, it's for real. They're not playing. They mean it. Because he says he is stirring up the Medes. This has already been going on. They're stirring up right now. So if he destroys their infrastructure, power plants and desalination plants or water, what is going to be the result? You guessed it. It's the old, from Iran's point of view, it's the old, if we're going down, you're going down with us. And that's exactly what this book is saying. What we do to them, they'll do to us. We wipe out their power grid, ours gets knocked out, and that's where we're at. And it's going to happen. Revelation 18 is very clear that this is going to happen. We're right on the precipice of it. But like I say, I don't think at all he's going to take all that out yet. He's got to be a really psychopath to do that. He might. I doubt it. But if he does, then it's retaliatory time. What else over in the Middle East is going to get lit up? I mean, I'm not standing on either side. I'm just saying what's going to happen. They will retaliate. I showed that clip of that Iranian woman. I watched the whole thing, someone who escaped Iran. They're over there trying to pull off, in this war right now, their version of the end of the world. And they teach their martyrdom through Islam and all that. They're serious about their, like the churches, like their version of the end of the world. They're trying to make it happen according to the Islam point of view. Do we see what's going on? It's a bigger story that most are ignoring. So I'm going to go over this Isaiah chapter 13 and a whole bunch more and put it in its proper context. And I showed you the verse from Ezekiel chapter 7. He says, destruction cometh. They shall seek peace, and there shall be none. What do we keep hearing? MOUs. Get to the tables and talk. A treaty. Over and over. But there will be none. because Ezekiel chapter 7 is the chapter where he right out says it, is when the end begins. At the time that the end is beginning, they're saying and seeking peace, but there won't be any. Instead, it's destruction that's coming. That's why we can foretell it, because the scriptures are, he's telling us plain out what it is going to be. So forget the news and the Canadian prepper types. I watch him, but he doesn't base it on the Bible. That's his error. And others like him. It's going to happen. I don't know if it's this soon, but if he hits these plants and they're water plants, what's going to be the repercussions? Now, the bow of Elam, it's going to be broken. That is an absolute fact. But let's go and take a look, because I showed you verses. Last two videos from Isaiah chapters 21 and 22, last days, talking about Iran, Elam, Media, Babylon and Iran, always going at it. And he's talking about, they're explaining all the surrounding circumstances, how they're going to fall. But yet, I went over this in, what was the documentary? I forgot now. I think it's the 13 weeks. But Isaiah chapter 21 and verse 8, and he cried a lion, roaring and rising lion, by Elohim, and I stood continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am set in my ward whole night, and behold, there cometh a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen, Trump and Netanyahu. But notice, at the time of Iran, the bow of Elam to be broken, he says, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods he had broken to the ground. Babylon is fallen. He says the same thing in Revelations chapter 17 and 18. And no one can convince me he's talking about two different things. Why does he say is fallen twice? We can reword this to say, as Babylon fell originally, it falls once again. And back in Daniel's day, there was a handwriting on the wall, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. Only the word Mene was written twice because there's two falls of Babylon. And that night, Belshazzar was killed by the Medo-Persians. It repeats again. All right, did you hear what I just said? It repeats again. As it fell before, it has fallen again. So this is how prophecy and Yahweh has set it up through his prophetic word. And we're seeing it come to pass. A little slower than what we thought, but we're getting there. Okay. Over there in Daniel 8, we defeat them over there. But they defeat us over here. They hit us over here. Jeremiah 51, the winnowers, the terrorist sleeper cells. I keep asking myself why they haven't activated them. The best answer I can guess on is they're trying to win without having to use it. But if they're going to go down anyway, and if they're at their end, then why not? If we're going down, USA, you're going down with us. They do believe in martyrdom. It's the old, if I can't have it, nobody can. That's what I'm seeing. Why I want to do this documentary. But this is a dangerous situation. And yeah, I know it excites people. We want prophecy to happen, just like I said in my videos. Those who are saying peace and safety are those who are not under peace and safety. These are the ones that are in trouble. Which there's a whole bunch of verses goes over that. And it all makes sense now. Why some he saves and others he's out to destroy. And we try to make sense of it all. We're going to make sense of that. Not in this video today. I'll get to work on it. But there's a reason for it. They think they're secure. They're waiting for prophecy to happen the way they want, according to what the churches are teaching. So therefore, they know something's happening, but they still think we got time, right? Because things haven't happened the way they want it to, and it's snuck right up on us. It's already here. It's in progress right at this very minute. Right now. What a shame what these churches have done. How they have deceived the people. So I want to keep this one short, giving you a heads up. If by chance he goes after the bridges, the plants, that is, in layman's terms, that is the way of nuking Iran without nuking them. No power, no more drones and missiles being made. Infrastructure's down. Plants of all sorts, and they can't even make their own gas. They can't do anything. How will they run the oil pumps? So I don't know what's going to happen there. So I don't live over there. But we would think if we take their infrastructure down, Revelation 18 says ours is going to be taken down over here. Our power grid's going down. The factories shut off. Churches ravished, destroyed. On it goes. And they're already over here, hence Joe Biden's open borders. What was the number? 21 million they estimated got across the borders? Maybe more? There's no way that ICE got them all out of here. We don't even know who they are, but they're here. Bible says they are, and he says he'll stir them up against us. So what they're proclaiming at the funeral, death on American soil, it's not a joke. They're not just rambling around. They mean it. The Bible says they mean it. So therefore it's serious. It's not just burning effigy time and looking good on the camera. Not the excitement of the crowd. Empty threats. These are not empty threats. It's going to get bad. So yes, it's exciting times. But be prepared, be braced for it. I don't think he's going to do it. Because you've got to be really insane. Because you're affecting the entire world. And that will spiral out of control. It could get really, really bad, really fast. In a matter of days even. We just don't know. But if he does do it, well, here we are. I don't expect it because of the yo-yoing. Over and over. I'm going to blow you up. 30 minutes later, well, we got 60 days ceasefire. We're all sick of it. I get that. It's tiring. It's wearing us out. But sooner or later, there's no more seconds on the clock, is what you're always trying to tell us. We know we're close, and we know he's going to run out of his yo-yoing shortly. And now we're in it for real. Anyway, you have a great day. I'll get working on this. Probably will be time to finish it, but in the event, it could go down. The grid is going to go down. So if you could be prepared, be prepared. I mean, they know how to do it. If they can hit accurately over there, they can hit accurately over here. And they will. Anyway, praise Yahweh. May he be with you. Remember to keep praying Luke 21:36, to be counted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man.